Hi, it's Steve Morrison here, and you're listening to Chat with Chaps, chatting Millwall, come rain or shine.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it may be. Welcome to Chat with Chaps. As you can probably tell, this isn't Chris Chapman. This is Joe Zampu substituting for Chris Chapman, along with the Sicilian godfather himself, Angelo Miliotto, and Disco Steve. How you doing, boys? You okay?
All good, thanks, mate.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Obviously,
very good, thanks.
Chris's boots are so big to fill. It obviously takes three of us, not two of us, takes three of us to get anywhere close to sort of substituting for him. But hopefully, we'll give it a go. Obviously, it'll be very different to what Chris normally does. We're not going to be able to pull charts out and graphs and whatever like Chris normally does and goes in sort of deep analysis. But we'll do our best to sort of cover yesterday's game, which was a game against Derby County at home. So first of all, Angelo, how you doing, mate? You good?
Yeah, I'm very well, mate. Very well. Frustrated after yesterday's game, but obviously we'll speak about that in a moment, I'm sure.
Yeah, of course. And Disco Steve, rumor has it you've moved houses because your front room wasn't quite big enough to have your dance floor and your crystal ball up on the ceiling. Is that true?
That is absolutely true, and I'm waiting to set the lights up over the next few days. So I'll give you a view in the next few weeks. But yeah, moved house. Every bone and every muscle in my body is aching from bloody moving things and what have you. But yeah, like Angelo, echo his thoughts. Disappointed yesterday. I thought we were going to win that and puts a bit of pressure on for Wednesday. But look, we'll come on to that, I guess.
Absolutely. Well, before we begin, guys, sadly, there was some bad news on Friday night, which announced that Matt Smith's son, Madison, sadly passed away at 4 months old, just, very, very young age. And, it's heartbreaking. Sad news, of course. So the fans, both sets of fans, Mill fans and Derby fans, had a 1 minute applause at the 4th minute to represent the 4th month of Madison's birth. And I thought both sets of fans done a great job. And thank you to Derby fans as well for participating in that. Sad news. And on behalf of all of us, really, Chat with Chaps and all the guys involved in the show, we just want to pass on our sincere condolences to Matt Smith and his family for the sad passing of baby Madison. So let's go to the game. So, Angela, as you say, disappointing result. Millwall won, Derby won. Quite a full den, it felt. 17,321 fans there. It seemed like a bit of a buzz there. I guess the 2 week, international break might have played a part in that. A lot of us were climbing the walls, weren't we, trying to get back into the swing watching Mill again. What did you make overall of our kind of performance before we kind of go into the deep analysis?
Yeah, obviously it's always, I think, credit to Derby, mate. They brought a lot of fans down yesterday. I think it was 3,000 fans they brought, top and bottom, and it just makes it such a better atmosphere, doesn't it? When there's a big away following as well. But yeah, it was a good crowd. It was a good atmosphere. Just the game didn't live up to the atmosphere, but yeah, no, I've got to give Derby. They're a big club, aren't they? Derby, they are a big club. And credit to all their fans that come down. They sung quite well as well. Yeah, it was a good atmosphere, mate. It really was.
Excellent.
I went to the new bar as well. I was looking for you, actually, Joe. But
yeah, I think I might have just missed you.
Yeah,
I did go in there. It was quite all right, wasn't it?
Nice little bar.
They've got a better selection of drinks there, I think, compared to Harry's bar. But I think it's a different license holder there, isn't it? That run that bar.
The guys in the bar were actually saying that James Berylson was in there, right? I think
was he?
Before I got there, yeah, he was talking to all the fans. And
did he buy everyone a drink? Did he? I take it.
I don't know, mate. I don't know.
Damn,
he was late. They were saying he was really, really knowledgeable on like everything, mate. There was he? The guys that we spoke to, they were really impressed with him.
Brilliant. Yeah. Must have been doing his homework on his private jet over from the States, maybe. And Disco Steve, obviously you moved into your new home now. I can see the background there looks very, very nice. Did you manage to get Sky installed at home to watch the game? Did you get to see it?
Yes, the Sky man setting it up actually just before kickoff Wasn't actually on Sky, but we won't go into that. But managed to pick the game up. I think, like Angelo says, it seemed like a really good atmosphere. It's brilliant to see the ground more full than it has been. The away end, I mean, great for us to give them the 2 tiers, and fair play to them. 3,000, as you say, and you could hear them. The only thing I would say, Derby and any of the other teams, what is that? When the goalkeeper takes the kick, and the old "whoa, you're shit," from the 80s. Come on, grow up. That is so.
You think that would have died out by now, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Folks our age say it. It's like, Jesus, get a life. So let themselves down with that. Great limbs when they scored, as you would expect. It's great, isn't it, when you go away in those sort of numbers. But I thought people were saying it sounded a bit flat. It was a bit flat. What I heard sounded like some good noise from the home crowd as well. So I think we were holding our own as we should. But a bit of a disappointing result. I really fancied us to win. I think we all did predictions, didn't we, of the next 4 games or something, and I thought we'd win the next 2. Understanding it was a tough one because Warne's a bit Harris-esque, isn't he, or certainly old days, and I think they've always had tough battles when he was at Rotherham and what have you, but I expected us to win that. It puts a bit of pressure on for Wednesday night, but it wasn't quite our normal. First half, it seemed like we were getting a bit of a head of steam up, didn't it? And then, as I say, it felt like they took a hold in the game. And I don't know if I'm jumping ahead. Well, no, I'll say
we'll go into it. So firstly, pre-match facts. I didn't realise this, but we were actually winless at home to Derby in our last 3 games at home since 2018. So they're a bit of a bad luck team against us. We played in the last 7 games. They've actually won 6 of the last 7 games against us. And what's also very interesting is both teams are in the bottom 2. We've actually got the lowest or the fewest passes in the whole division, which says a lot about our playing style and how we're very, very similar. And what's interesting, incidentally, is that both teams are at the highest. They have the highest ratio for long passes in our division. Millwall leading the highest, 20% of our play goes long, and there's 18%. If you look at the stats, so it's interesting. You can see how both teams were very, very similar. Both play like sort of direct long football, we want to call it that. And it was a little bit end to end, a bit like tennis at times, weren't it? Watching that game, trying to pick out, the highlights, if you like, the key moments, boys, from yesterday's game. So right near the start. I would go to Angelo first. There was a chance through Honeyman. If you remember, I think they tried to play out the back and they played out to their left winger to Blackett Taylor, who was dispossessed quite easily from Leonard. The ball broke to Tanganga. He played a lovely little quick through ball in through the lines to Esse, who done brilliantly and just fed a lovely through ball into to Honeyman. And of course, Honeyman had that chance where the keeper made a bit of a meal of it. I mean, I don't know if you pronounce the name correctly, the goalkeeper. Is it Widdle Zetterstrom? I think his name is. I'm not going to say that too often in this podcast. So that might take up too much time. But he made a bit of a meal. What did you make of that chance, Angelo?
First of all, mate, very impressed with your stats there. I thought you was Chris Chapman there, mate.
I'm trying, mate. I'm trying. It's not exactly as good, but if you're gonna shop at Wish, this is what you get. you get Joe's stats.
Yeah. I went to Millwall yesterday with one of my work colleagues, and I said to him that that goalkeeper that they've just signed him, very, very highly rated. He's like got a lot of plaudits across all the pundits. Apparently he's a really, really good keeper. So I was a bit worried about that. I remember that chance quite well, mate. Honeyman's took it first time, got it on target, and he's made a bit of a theatrical save, isn't he, really? He sort of like dived up and then just pushed it out for the corner. It was I'd say that was a half chance for us, that Honeyman shot, mate. It would have been, I think the only way he would have scored that one was maybe if he'd have drilled it, really, a lot of power low. Might have got it in, but listen, is a half chance. I class it as a half chance.
Yeah, Steve, it was a bit of a half chance. From where I sat, I know you watched it on the TV there, but I felt there wasn't enough power in the shot. There's also an argument that Watmore was making quite a good run into the box, and maybe you could have cut it back to Watmore and given him an easier chance. What did you make of that chance and the build up to that opportunity he had?
Yeah, look, nice build up, wasn't it? A bit like we've been at home of recent weeks. So really good build up. You're right there. Look, was there an option to make a clinical pass rather than the shot? Because you do well. I think you do well to score from there, as Angelo suggested. It's almost like a half chance in a way, and just hit the target. But maybe cutting it inside to Watmore was an opportunity, and that's the difference in it. Somebody a bit clever who can see that run accordingly. But for me, hit the target, and I thought there, as you saying, Angelo, I think that keeper showed his mettle there. He just looked solid, didn't he? Nice and easy, parried it out. I would imagine he is a good keeper. He looks decent and makes our goal even better, which we're definitely going to come on to.
Excellent. And Steve, staying with you for the moment. Again, guys, apologies. I'm not writing down minutes or when these chances happen. I know Chris, when he does it, he's excellent. I mean, he records minutes and the weather at that moment. 16 degrees with slight southerly wind. He's excellent. Unfortunately, I'm too engrossed in the game to sort of write the information down. But let's just say shortly after that, there was another chance, and this chance goes to Langstaff. Very, very similar in the area where the chance came, but again, Esther was involved in this one, which was quite nice. The ball, as I remember, came out to Essie, played a lovely little ball to Watmore, and it was a very quick first-time pass from Watmore, just sort of fed Langstaff in, and he had this chance, which kind of crashed off the post and then went to the left-hand side, away from the goal mouth. And again, from where I sat, I thought, you know what, terrible miss, Steve. Because I looked at it, I thought you should have done better there. But I mean, to obviously not have the luxury of watching a replay, I didn't actually notice, but there was a slight touch. Do you think on that chance?
Well, we mentioned this before. I didn't know that, and I believe that's the sort of rumor or the fact that's going around it. And what a bloody save if it was, because listen, he was for me, he was so unlucky. Hits the inside of the post and comes out, and it's a miss. I think it was width of paint away from being in, and what a move! What an absolutely fantastic move by us. So very pleasing on the eye, and funny. Oh, not funny, but I got a text after that from a mate also watching over in America, and he said there is no way SA is staying with us past Christmas because of that ball that he'd these parting that move and the way he'd started the game. And that's another debate for another day. But he was really motoring them, wasn't he, SA, and looking good. But no, I think Langstaff very unlucky, and I think that's the difference. Second division non-lit, he puts that in. It just goes in. Maybe the guy did get a finger on it, and if he did, that stopped it going in definitely.
Angelo, over to you. What did you make of that Langstaff chance? Should Langstaff done better? Was it a good save? What's your thoughts? And all interested, what's your thoughts when you watched it live compared to watching it back on the replay?
Yeah, I was just about to say that, Joe. When I watched it live, I thought, fucking hell, he's got to score that. Fucking hell.
Me too.
But obviously I'm at the other end of the stadium. So when I got home and watched the highlight show, I think the goalkeeper narrows the angle perfectly, and then it's a difficult chance because of the tight angle. But I think his shot has just clipped the goalkeeper and then gone onto the post. So maybe if it doesn't clip the goalkeeper, it might go in. But I think he should score, but it ain't a glaring miss. Do you know what I mean? It's not a glaring miss. But like Steve said, it was a lovely little ball in from SA, who I thought in the first half wasn't that great. He had a few loose balls that went a bit wayward, and he got caught out in one, didn't he? There was a counter attack as well. From a really bad pass from him.
Where he tried a little sort of trick, didn't they? Yeah. But his touch for the goal was fantastic, mate. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, excellent. Interesting. Also, just want to say, I saw SA by accident before the game, so I was waiting for my brother-in-law to turn up because I had a birthday card to give him, and my missus said to do us a favour, give Al his birthday card. And I was like, oh, please don't, please. She said, what do you mean? I said, I don't want to walk into Millwall holding a birthday card in my hand. It's not like. I said, oh God, don't be so stupid. I was like, oh God. So of course I get there, hoping I'll just see him, go, right, boom, there's your card. Yeah, happy birthday. See you later. But sadly, he was running late. So I'm hovering around the car park with his card, thinking his player's turning up there now. People are going to think I've got a card for a player, like, you know, I love you card or something. I don't know. But
was it can I have your shirt essay?
Yeah, well, that's it. Exactly. So anyway, as I was sort of leaning on a lamppost, I didn't realise, but Roman Esther comes behind me to get his boots out of his car. And I sort of said, oh, sorry, mate. I told him, I was, oh, Ron. I said, how you doing? And luckily, he sort of remembered me before I did the shirt sponsorship last end of last season. So he sort of, how you do? Sort of, yeah, shook my hand, really nice. I said, you know, how you getting on? Blah, blah. He goes, yeah, I'm enjoying it. So I really having a good time. I'm loving my football. So I said, well done. So listen, mate, just keep doing what you're doing. You're playing brilliantly. I said, yeah, well done, mate. He's thanks a lot. And of course, there's like everyone's like rushing to try and get his autograph. He sort of legged it because he was running late to get his boots back of his car. And he sort of legged in. Yeah.
Did you ask him for his dad's phone number?
I didn't. I missed a trick there. I know. I could have put in my little black book, couldn't I? I could have added it to the other 17 players I got in my little black book. Must remember that next time, Angelo. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah.
But no, lovely kid. And whether he's watching us or not, you know, just keep doing what you're doing, Romain. I speak on behalf of all the Mill fans. You know, you're a breath of fresh air in this team, and just keep being you. Be creative, be exciting. That's what we pay our money for, to watch some good football. And yes, needless to say, my brother-in-law did turn up, Alex. Alex, if you're watching this, happy birthday again, mate. And yeah, and hope you enjoyed the game. Sorry I couldn't get the 3 points, but never mind. Shortly after, before the end of the first half, Nyambe got injured, guys, and I think it was a bit of a tackle 50 with Saville, and he ends up going off. And then Kane Wilson comes in, who I thought was excellent for them. I'm surprised he didn't start, whether he's come out from injury. Not quite sure, but he made a real difference to them on that right side. And he was bombing down, shooting towards the Cobra Lane in that time. And he was getting loads of crosses in and bobbing forward. He was a real dangerous guy. Steve, I don't know if you remember watching him much. What do you think of him? But interesting.
No, I'll be honest. I'd pass on that. I can't remember too much. I might have been helping the Sky Man up his ladder then. But
Angela, do you felt Joe Bryan sort of dealt with him? What was your thoughts on Joe Bryan defensively yesterday?
Yeah, listen, there's a lot of hate about Joe Bryan. Apart from him fluffing a couple of free kicks and a couple of dodgy shots, I don't think it's a position to slate him for his game yesterday. That number 2, I didn't really pick up on it, Joe, in the first half. I do know that he was the guy that chased him down, Ivanovic, when he went through.
Yes.
But yeah, he didn't shine to me, mate. I didn't really pick up on him. Yeah.
No, but overall, first half performance, like you said earlier, Angelo, there wasn't really much going on. I think we created the better chances. We had a few little chances we spoke about earlier, and I think, generally, I think we looked like we were the team on top, and maybe deserve to go on the second half to win. Very, very earlier in the second half, Angelo, there was a chance or a through ball played to Blackett Taylor down our right side, their left side, if you like. And if you recall, in 47 minutes, Saville comes in with a real reckless tackle, absolutely takes him out. And the Derby fans are screaming penalty. And I'll be honest with you, I thought it was a penalty as well. It was a blatant penalty. But luckily for us, Angelo, the linesman put his flag up and gave offside. Was it offside and therefore should have been a penalty? What's your thoughts on that? Again, with the luxury of looking at replays and all that.
Yeah, I think we got to say that we were lucky that maybe the linesman was blinded by the sun, mate, because he was well onside, and it was a definite penalty, mate. We definitely 100% got away with one there. From the replays I saw on the highlight show, he's well onside, and it is 100% a foul, mate, 100%. So we definitely got away with one there, mate. And just before we close off the first half, the only threat I saw from Derby the first half, I think, was that Jerry Yates had a shot that went miles over the bar. And that was it, wasn't it?
That's true. There's a chance we could put onto his right foot, and you think he's going to bury it at the top.
Yeah,
but he went right over.
Yeah, he's trying to curl it, and he just
Incidentally, is that Jerry Yates who had a bit of a spat with Tanganga when he played for
Yeah,
Swansea last season? I think he's on loan now, and he's to Derby this season.
Yeah.
But what's your thoughts?
I'm surprised the crowd didn't give him a lot of booing. Do you know what I mean? Because he was the one. He was the one that basically got Tanganga sent off at Swansea in the last.
Yeah. Although I felt Tanganga dealt with him quite well. Again, I mean, he had a great game. He always does Tanganga, doesn't he? But I don't recall Yates really troubles too much until the second half. We'll touch on that in a bit. Yeah. But Steve, what's your thoughts on that decision? I mean, we're obviously very, very lucky there. Did you see that in a replay, that chance that they had where Saville takes him out? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, like you're watching it and you think, oh shit, penalty, and then thank God. At first you think, oh, he's not give it, and then it's, as you say, offside. Difficult because you don't see the full pitch. I'm thinking there's a player playing him on elsewhere, or playing him on offside rather. No, we got away with one there. But look, we don't get a lot. And Atwell he's very bloody whistle happy, isn't he, Atwell? He's start right in Derby's hands as well. And the time wasting that they were getting away with, bloody infuriating. But look, we got away with one. I thought Saville played well outside of that, to be fair. Thought he was up for potential man of the match in my mind. What I could see,
Okay. 65 minutes, Aziz comes on for Watmore, and what Harris does immediately, he tells Esse to go over to the left wing, I believe, and then Aziz comes in on that right side to replace Esse, and we'll talk a bit about him further in this sort of show. But then soon after that, there's another chance for Millwall. This one is a little bit of it felt like a bit of a training ground drill, really. It's a little one-touch play between Tanganga, Casper De Noor and Leonard, where they're kind of hitting the ball in a triangle in the sort of bottom west, sort of lower, if you like, in that kind of corner area. And Leonard hits this long ball up the flank, and Langsdorff makes such an intelligent run where he just gets in front of Cashin, who I thought had an excellent game, Cashin, at their defender at the back for them. I think he's the captain as well. And he just gets in front of him, makes a lovely, intelligent run. His first touch is great. His second touch is even better. Just sort of plants him lovely towards the goal there, Steve. And of course, he then has a chance, which, I'll be honest with you, looking at it from, I sat up in the West Upper, it seemed like he really sort of messed that chance up. But then again, looking at the replay, the goalkeeper had a foot on that and made it an excellent save. What did you make of that chance? And should, again, Langsdorff have done better again on that one?
Yeah, look, like you say, great run, great ball. His touch was really good to put himself in with a shooting chance. Maybe took it a bit too near the keeper, but, I don't think he did a lot wrong there. And look, fine margins again, innit? Look at Luton. The guy got a toe on it, didn't he? Put it wide. And he's got a toe on it there and got it. I guarantee second division, that goes in, and there's Langsdorff on the score sheet again. That's the difference. I think, look, I think he's adapting to championship football really, really well. He looks a player for me, Langsdorff. It's the final finish, unfortunately, but he's been very unlucky. And, I think it will come for him, certainly.
Let's hope so. And Angela, what did you make of that chance? And just, if you don't mind spending a few words on Langsdorff. I mean, Harris gave lots of praise at the end, talks about his efforts and how much he's trying and the work effort he's making. What do you make of that chance? Should he have done better? Do you think it's a good save? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, I thought he'd done brilliant, mate, to get away from that Cashin guy. Like, he used his strength, and the way that he got away from him, I thought was superb. So he really created the chance himself. When I've got home, I've got my protractor out and looked at all the angles. I actually think the shot was going wide. So when he shot and the keeper stuck his leg out, I actually do believe that shot was just gonna go past the post. I think what he's got to do in that situation, he's just got to lever it, drill it low, right in the middle of the goal, and hopefully with the power, the goalkeeper's got no chance, not enough time to move his legs to try and save it. But I think what he's decided to do is just go for that far corner. Jensen made a similar save, didn't he, against Preston, where he stuck his leg out, and that was a great save as well. So I think brilliant chance. It was a gilt-edged chance, but he done really well to get
that
through on
chance.
his own. Yeah. It was just his execution that he got wrong, in my opinion, mate. Yeah. If he drills it hard, low, with power, I don't think the goalkeeper can move his feet, and it's a goal.
Yeah. Obviously, sadly for Langstaff, that was the end we sort of saw of him, because not long after that, on 73 minutes, Ivanovic comes on for him. It's a like-for-like swap. Langstaff goes off. Ivanovic comes on. At this point, Aziz wasn't really getting into the game. So Harris then swaps him over to the left side, puts Esse back on the right side again. And suddenly you sort of see Esse getting back into the game again. His footwork was brilliant. He was creating chances, trying to make things happen, wasn't he? And looked quite a dangerous threat for us. But then, typically, as things happen, we go a goal behind, Angelo. And this chance comes from a Derby corner, which is sort of swinged in with no real sort of dangerous pace at all. I mean, we've seen it many times in the past when Fleming's been on that kind of front post and he'll head the ball away. I think Steve Morrison back in the day used to do that very well as well. He'll be sitting on that front post, just clearing any headers. But unfortunately, young Aziz was there, and he seems to kind of get a bit of a clip, doesn't he, Angelo? It kind of falls into the back post. Well, look, I'll let you explain the rest.
Yeah. So a couple of things, right, Joe? Chris would definitely have had the right stats, yeah? But I believe that Derby are the strongest in the Championship at set pieces, yeah?
Interesting.
So we was having a chat just before we come online with Steve, where Leonard, he's getting these tackles out, but when you know that you're dealing with a team who are so strong at corners, yeah, it's very, very important not to give corners away. And listen, he's tackled Mendes Lang, and Leonard's put it out for a corner. Yeah. When that ball comes over, exactly what you just said, Joe. In the old days, Steve Morrison used to clear them for fun, didn't he? Yeah. After Steve Morrison, it was Zian Fleming used to clear them corners for fun. We have now not got anybody in that position, and it is such a vital position that clears them headers away. And sadly, Aziz wasn't strong enough, didn't get high enough, he didn't jump high enough, and probably been bullied by the guy that's next to him. And what he's done, he's just basically flicked it into a dangerous area. And this is what caused their goal. So obviously that ball was then looped all the way over. I'm then going to put some blame on Casper and Lenny because they're under the ball, and that Jerry Yates gets over both of them to get the header in. And
sorry to interrupt you, Angelo. Should Jensen done better? Because looking at it, when I watched it live, I felt he made a bit of a balls up, and when I watched the replay, he seems to fumble on that ball, and it kind of like fumbles it into his own sort of side netting. Do you agree with that or not?
Do you know what, Joe? Right, I actually don't put the blame on Jensen this goal, mate, because no, I don't, because I literally like Aziz is the problem because obviously he's put the ball into a dangerous area. Casper and Leonard have not dealt with it. And then when Yates has jumped quite well to get his head on the ball, it's going to go anywhere. So Jensen's just thrown his hands out because it's going to be pot luck in trying to stop the ball. Do you know what I mean?
He sort of does like a Peter Schmeichel, sort of saying
it
doesn't make
looks
so
bad.
big.
It looks bad, doesn't it? Because he gets one hand to it and it just fumbles in off the post. So it does look terrible, but I just think that we've got 3 players there that should stop that ball from getting into the danger zone. But I think the coaching staff, they have to find someone that's a regular, not like because Aziz obviously comes on a sub, so it's not going to be his regular job. We was having a chat in our WhatsApp group. Maybe the big Serbian can take up that position.
The big what?
He's not the big fucking Serbian.
Oh, sorry.
You know what? Also, I hope the fans stop doing that tune that we used to do for Zian. I think this guy needs his own song. Do you know
he needs his own one. We've got to come a little bit more original on this one.
So we need to get away from that whole Zian song. So at the moment he's not a starter, is he? So maybe when he becomes a starter, maybe he can take that position. But we need somebody. We need somebody in that position every single game without a shadow of a doubt. Fleming was excellent at clearing them corners, mate. Yeah. So I'm giving Jensen a pass on that goal, mate.
Okay, so Disco Steve, over to you. I'm sort of chucking Jensen under the bus here a little bit. I'm saying, look, he flapped it as a goalkeeper. I want my goalkeeper to be commanding and win these crosses and get these balls and not flap it. Obviously, Angelo's saying he's not to blame. Where do you sit with that goal conceded?
Well, I love to see the disco style goalkeeper trying to play. It's homeland for me.
Guys, I tell you what, the viewers that are watching this on like Apple Podcasts or Spotify and not on YouTube, you're very lucky you didn't see what I've just seen just then. Only joking, Steve.
I'm not going to get a card from Joe for that.
No. Maybe, yeah.
No, look, sum it up. I think brilliant sum up from Angelo. But for me, you've got a question. What is Aziz doing in that important role? He's a bigger lad than I sort of thought he was. He's quite a tall lad anyway. He looks it on the pitch, but he's not going to command the box there. So there's the first mistake. And as you say, they've drilled it in. It wasn't a bad delivery, but if you get the flick on, perfect. Caused pandemonium. Angelo's absolutely right. It should have been dealt with by the defenders. Wasn't. I genuinely don't blame Jensen. Look, I don't mind that. It's like the handball style, goalkeeper style that Schmeichel did, and a few keepers do it, and it's just make yourself big, and you have a bit of luck where it hits a bit of your body and out it goes. He was unlucky because it hit the post, and then he did look a bit stupid, didn't he? Because he's fumbling and trying to get it out, and I'm not putting the blame on him. I'm getting a bit worried about him now, though. He doesn't look as commanding as I'd really like him to be. And just that whole box, you think the keeper should be...
Do you think Roberts... Is it a time for a change now, Steve? Do you think we should give Roberts a run of games? And I'll ask you and I'll ask Angela after what your thoughts are. Do we stick with Jensen, or do we sort of twist and give Roberts 5 or 6 games, see what he can do? What's your thoughts on that?
Look, it's a really good question, isn't it? Because it's a key decision. And look, I'm not saying we're not getting results because Jensen's playing badly, and I do think he's getting settled. But there was a couple of times on the telly yesterday, and you'll have seen it, where defenders were falling out with him, and Tandanga had a go at him at one point when he headed it out for a corner because he felt he didn't get a call. And like I say, he's just not commanding the box or his goal like I would expect him. So quite a ballsy decision, and it's a bit Rowett-esque with changing Long for Bart, but maybe that is a change worth doing right now. Just something feels like we need to do something different. I don't think that's a priority, but maybe it could make a difference. Yeah.
Interesting. Angelo, what's your thoughts on that? Would you stick by Jensen and give him a few more games, or do you say, you know what, you've had enough chances, let's get Roberts in for 5 or 6 games, see what you can do?
No, I'm sticking with him, mate. Like, in my opinion, he's made a couple of errors on the first game of the season, and since then, he hasn't made any errors, mate. Yes, a couple of dodgy kicks, a couple of flaps at corners, but I can't turn around and say I blame him blatantly for any other goal since the Watford game. So, he's 10 games into his Millwall career. Let's support him. He's made some great saves. At Hull, he made some fantastic saves. That save with his foot against Preston, I thought was outstanding. Yeah. I'm sticking with him, mate. I'm sticking with him. Okay,
excellent. So that was the goal at 78 minutes. And I don't know about you guys, but again, I've got the luxury of where I sit up in the West Upper. I'm very close to the dugout. And there was a moment when, and again, guys, listeners who are listening to this show, I'd be interested to get your comments as well. There was a moment when Harry sort of turns around, he faces the bench, and I'm sure he sort of did this almost like he did it on purpose to kind of show the directors above and Gallen and whoever was up there watching. And he sort of looks at the bench with his hands on his hips, has to sort of say, right, who can I bring on? And he sort of looks left and right at his bench, and he does this sort of gesture where he kind of like shakes his head and puts his hands to the side, like to say, like, I've got nothing there, got no options. Bear in mind, he's already brought Ivanovic on at this time. He took Langstaff off, and he's got Aziz on already. And he looks at the bench like, what do I do? So that was immediately after the goal. And then he sort of turns away, faces the pitch again, almost like across his arm, like saying, well, I can't do anything, almost. He made a real... I don't know about you guys when you saw it, but I saw that, and I just felt that it was obvious what he was trying to say. Anyway, Moving on slightly, a few minutes later, on 84 minutes, he makes a very, very, very strange substitution, Angelo. He then takes off George Saville and Casper De Norre, two of our most consistent players playing midfield, probably playing more minutes than anyone apart from the defenders, of course. And he takes them both off in 84 minutes. And he does a real strange substitution where he brings on young Kelly and Wintle to kind of fill in like for them. And then interesting, a minute later, we score. But before we do score, before we talk about the goal, which was a great goal, of course, just talk me through that substitution. And did you see that moment I'm talking about before that happened?
Yeah, no, I never saw that. I never saw that at all from the Carver Lane end.
What'd you make of that, though? Obviously, I saw it. So,
yeah,
hearing that, what's your thoughts on that?
When I heard the announcer say, I heard him say Saville, I thought, fine, the guy's been travelling on international duty, probably tired, fine. And then when he said Casper De Norre as well, I thought, wow, he's took off both the two main guys.
Yeah.
So obviously, when he's brought on Kelly, we've had this discussion in our WhatsApp group. Yeah, I want the likes of Kelly, Massey, the young. I want them guys to get minutes. Yeah, I'm not saying start them, but I'm happy for them to get their minutes, because if they don't get their minutes, they're not going to improve. They're not going to gain the experience. So yeah, it was surprising, but I don't mind it. Joe.
What do you make of Harris's reaction? Obviously, saying what I'm saying is gospel truth, and you bring what I'm saying.
Well, if Harris has got frustrated, I understand it, but he has to be a little bit more patient, mate. We got Mayer on the way back. Yeah, he should be ready, hopefully for Wednesday. We got Amaka who's finished his ban now, so he'll be available.
Josh
Coburn's not far away. Bradshaw's not far away. Billy Mitchell's not far away.
True.
You know what I mean? They're coming. The cavalry is coming. So he's then going to get headaches on like, who he's going to play, who he's going to fill the bench. So
yeah. And over to you, Steve. Cheers to that, Angelo. Over to you, Steve. What's your thoughts? Again, believe what I said is true, and I'm not going to lie. I saw it with my own eyes. What did you make of that? Do you see that as just a little bit of frustration? Do you think he's trying to get a message to the board? Is he trying to sort of show his frustration? What do you make of that?
I believe you implicitly, Joe. You don't have to.
I know you would, Disco. I know you would, mate.
I'm sure you weren't drinking. Listen, it's not really good, is it? It's not a good feel. But actually, as you're saying that, Joe, I'm picturing myself being there and looking at that bench. And in fairness, he's got a bloody point, isn't he? He's looking around thinking, what do I do here to change it? But then I'll flip that, like Angelo's saying, look, you've got to work with what you got, and you've got to do something. And fair play, he's been quite ballsy again there, taking them both off. Sounds like there was a little bit of show, because there was obviously JB was there, wasn't he, yesterday, and Gallen was in the stands and all the hierarchy, if you like. So he was probably making a bit of a show, and I don't know if that's going to, manifest into something more down the line. But yeah, you feel for him really. But as Angelo says, round the corner, it feels like we're going to be in a better place. But then Omary's guilty, like a lot of our managers, doesn't always like making subs anyway. So it's a bit like, well, what do you want?
I guess looking for a reaction, isn't he? We 1-0 down. He's thinking, right, what can I do? How can I change it? Who can I bring on? And obviously, he thought he could at the time. But long and behold, a magical substitution, it seems, although the two players didn't really play a direct involvement in it. But a minute later, after them coming on, there's a bit of a sort of fumble between Derby's defender Nelson and Esse, where the kind of ball ricochets off Esse. I think Esse's going to claim that as an assist. I'm sure he will, as any good attacking player would. And the ball then sort of finds its way to Ivanovic, who kind of beats the offside trap, doesn't he? And of course, they're hunting him down, Steve, and they're chasing him down, and he runs through on goal. And he just sort of shows unbelievable composure to go past the keeper and slot the ball in with his left foot, so be it his weaker foot, and finishes. And what's your thoughts on that goal and the whole situation there? What's your thoughts on that?
It was simply outstanding, and I'm not going over the top there. I can't remember, probably since Bomber's day, a striker that I would back to go that distance and put the ball in the net. You think about the strikers we've got, and I don't want to dig anybody out, but, even Langstaff has proved one-on-one, he's unlucky probably, but hasn't been able to do the job. That was outstanding. And add to it, as Angelo said earlier, a really good keeper there, really good keeper. And he does a little dummy, if you see, then to go round him. And look,
And you got two defenders in the back trying to block it on the line, didn't they, as well?
Exactly. But he hits it so crisply, which was lovely to see. But even that's when you're luck. Not your luck. I don't want to make it's luck, but you know, if the defender had blocked that, you'd have been, oh, what a choker, you know. And you almost think Langstaff, that's what would have bloody happened, you know. But he crisply finished it. What a finish! What a goal! And the big fucking Serb is off and running. You know?
Lovely.
It was the best moment, wasn't it?
And Angelo, over to you. Obviously, you know, Steve mentioned sometimes is that you need a bit of luck, and I think sometimes you've got to make your own luck, haven't you, in those situations? What's your thoughts on that? You know, from start to finish, really. What's your thoughts on that goal?
Well, I don't know if you guys have seen his like little 2-minute interview he does after the game.
Yeah,
and he says to that Mark Litchfield, he said, I knew that I was gonna keep running. I knew I was gonna go around the goalkeeper, and I knew I was gonna slot it in.
Wow.
And I thought, wow, what confidence, mate! Because they are the hardest chances when you've got all of that time and everything he done, every little touch he took. His pace, you know, he comfortably got away from the other two that were chasing him back, and absolutely perfect. That little touch where the goalkeeper comes out, tries to get the ball, and then just puts him in his left foot. And then I am a massive Mitrovic lover. I'm a fanboy of Mitrovic. Yeah, love the guy. So when you give it all that
celebration, I love that. I love that.
And you know what, mate? You know that's a really a big benefit for Millwall fans. That he, when he goes on international duty, he's spending time with Mitrovic, one of the best strikers I ever saw in the Championship. Absolutely. I never realised how good Mitrovic was till I saw him in the flesh. And, you know, the way that he used to shield the ball, his strength, and the amount of goals he got. Fantastic player.
Great player.
And, and if that's the guy that he's going to learn from, and for him to do that celebration, he must really love Mitrovic as well. So, yeah, mate. Absolutely love that celebration, mate.
Excellent. And I don't know about you guys, but
what about you, Joe? What did you think?
Well, I just want to say, I for the very first time in a long time felt, I don't know whether the listeners feel the same or whether you guys agree, but as soon as that ball broke to Ivanovic and he took that first touch, I knew he had a lot to do still. But in my mind, I thought, you know what? He scored this. And I don't feel that way when I see Langstaff or Bradshaw or anyone else sort of going through a goal like that. Yeah. But for me, at that moment, the second he took that touch and I knew he was through on goal, I knew that he was going to score. And for me, I know he's only young, 19 years of age. Harris talks about not putting pressure on his shoulders. I completely get that. But this lad is the real deal. Yeah, he's 19 years of age. He's developing. He's still getting better. But we wouldn't pay that kind of money for someone like him, who's an international playing for Serbia, if he wasn't good enough. And you could just see the levels. This kid, technically, he is of another level. You know, again, I'd love to see this a bit like SA. I'd love to see how good he's going to be in 2 to 3 years' time, because this guy is good enough, will be playing in the Premier League. And it's all part of our module at the moment, trying to develop players and sell them for a good price and reinvest again. So for me, it was brilliant. And also to Angelo's point there, he mentioned he knew what he was going to do. And so many times strikers, I mean, I play as a striker for my team, my Vets team. I'm not particularly a good one, but,
You go back to that goal in the den again, isn't he? Hey?
Funny you mentioned that. Funny you asked that. I actually did score it again once.
I've got to get the photo up of him.
I'll tell you what, one of these weeks, I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to put the video up on my goal just to sort of show you. But I can just tell you now, when you're through and goal like that, and I've been like that a few times before, your mind changes 3 or 4 times. One minute you're running through for, I'm going to hit this. You think, actually, no, I'm going to go around the keeper. And actually, I'm going to side foot it. And what happens is, more often than not, and any listeners watching who plays football, plays up front, you end up doing neither of them, and you end up fucking it up, basically, and messing up, or doing the wrong thing, But he knew what he was going to do. Like Angelo said, he went through and goal. He had it mapped out in his head, what he's going to do, and executed it amazingly. So,
you know what, Joe, also, right, when he got to the bit where he's come up to the goalkeeper, I was pretty sure he was just going to dink it either side. When he actually went around the goalkeeper, I thought, wow.
I know, I
don't remember the last time we had a striker go around the goalkeeper. Can you?
No, I can't.
Probably Harris.
Probably.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely right.
I agree.
Yeah. I'd say so, yeah. I'll say so.
One little thing to add as well, as he's running, I don't know if you saw, he's got the defenders coming on his right-hand side.
Yes.
He has a little check on his left to see if he's got
yes.
anybody. I mean, running with the ball. Like
Great
you
point.
say, Joe, he's quality. He is
He's got
quality.
it.
He
and
is.
I hope-
I love his interview as well. Have you heard it? Where he mentioned about what did Harris say to him before he comes on. He was almost going to swear, weren't he?
Yeah, yeah.
He said, Harris said to him, "Listen, you're a big." He sort of went quiet, Serbian. He goes, "So go out there and score."
Brilliant.
So you can imagine Harris saying, "Listen, you're a big fucking Serbian. Get out there and score." So love that.
We got the big fucking song. That's the song, isn't it? That's the only song I want to hear.
Yes.
You've got to start it, Angelo.
You start it, and we'll hum it. Guys, man of the match for you. Who's your man of the match? We'll go to Angelo first, and then Steve. Who's your man of the match for?
Do you know what, mate? I'm giving it to the Serb. I'm giving it to the Serb because purely because it was a absolute class above finish, and he got us a point. And he done the Mitrovic celebration, and I fucking love it, mate. I'm giving it to him, mate. And to be fair, when you look at the rest of the team, there was no really outstanding performances, mate. So I'm giving it to the Serb, mate.
Brilliant. And Disco Steve, who's your man of the match after yesterday?
Well, I said before, and a lot, it might be a bit controversial. I thought Saville had a decent game. He does a lot of unseen, dirty work that people don't really realise, breaking up play, etc. But then he did nearly give that penalty away and what have you. I was going to say Aziz was was pushing, but I can't go there. But I've deliberately put that up there not to copy Angelo. But I just think, to be fair, that was game changing because he made that goal. He scored it himself, and it was game changing. Imagine we'd lost that. We weren't scoring there, guys. Other than that, we were not scoring.
It would be a 1-0 loss, and that would have been the worst thing ever, wouldn't it?
How would we feel? That would have killed us. I'm telling you, would have
Absolutely.
really killed us.
And
one's bad enough.
Sorry to interrupt, Steve. Like when Steve just mentioned Aziz, one thing I must say is the start of that move for that goal. Aziz does win a good header on the right-hand side.
That's right. Good mention.
He does. Aziz wins the header. I think it goes down to Honeyman. They do a couple of little passes and then it goes through. So, a little bit of credit there because I know Aziz is getting a lot of hate online. I don't want to give the guy too much grief because I still think it's early days.
He's a young lad in his time, in his minutes, doesn't he? But I agree with you two. I would have given it to Ivanovic as well. I thought he was excellent when he came on. Took his goal amazingly well and made a difference. And hence the reason why he was, without sounding too cheesy, the man of the match. Because he.
So can I ask you something, mate?
Yes, mate.
Are you starting him on Wednesday?
You know what? I was having this conversation with my son leaving the game. And I if he was fit enough, I would say start him over Langstaff. But I just don't think at the moment he's got the minutes in him to do 60 minutes, which you need to do. You've got to do at least 60 minutes, don't you? Or I can't see him sort of doing that at the moment. He probably could get away with it if Langstaff was injured. We had no other option. But I think Harris will probably start Langstaff on Wednesday. But maybe I'd like to see Ivanovic come on a bit sooner. Probably come on at 55 or 60. Give him a little bit more time this time and build that stamina and that fitness. But he was my man of the match. But honourable mentions to Tanganga. I thought he was sound at the back. Honourable mention, I think, to Esse again, who I think grew into the game and again was a real outlet for us and really commanding. I mentioned before in previous shows, I love Esse's maturity. You see him telling players what to do. He was telling Langstaff where to go on throw-ins and having a go at him and telling him to go up forward or move there and you're in the wrong position. And I love that. I just love that confidence he's got and that maturity that he's bringing onto the pitch. So, all in all, a good performance, and we should have really won that game in short, guys. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'll go through some stats here very, very quickly. So, shot-wise, we had 16 shots yesterday. Derby had 5. We had 6 shots on target. Derby had 1. Possession, we actually had more possession. We had 54% possession. They had 46% possession. We had more passes, 292 against their 244. Pass accuracy, bear in mind, both teams like to go long, go direct. Our pass accuracy was 64%. Theirs was 60. Corners, we had 9. They had 5. And then we end up, position-wise, we're in 20th at the moment, and they're in 12th. So explain that one, Steve. I mean, look at those stats. We look by far the better and stronger team. If I said we're a 12th and they're a 20th, those stats would make sense, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Look,
It's a summary of the season, isn't it? Yet again, didn't think we was, even with those stats, it didn't feel we were quite as dominant. And it was a little bit like Preston-y in the last half hour, where they came into the game and and put us under a little bit of pressure at times, which was worrying. But look, I think we've said it before, and I said it straight after the game, and Harris said it, didn't he, in his interview? Really, I'm fed up with this bloody XG lark. I know it's all the rage now, and Chris is particularly a stat man and brilliant at it. Look, stuff your XG. I want to see the ball in the net, and I want to see us win. And look, 2 wins out of 10 is not great form, is it? It's worrying. No. I'm not panicking. But it's not good. And your point, we should be 12, they should be 20th. End of story. But we're not.
Absolutely.
And we've got to do something about it.
Absolutely.
Sorry, Joe. The one thing I did want to say, I felt second half particularly, the hot potato style was creeping back in. It was a bit the ball was a bit of a hot potato. Nobody seemed to really want it. And it was bouncing off us. We weren't controlling the ball well. It's probably a bit of frustration, but it seemed to me that throw-ins, again, we were going long instead of short, and a bit of short passing and keeping the ball. So I felt we allowed Derby to drag us into an old-fashioned...
To their style, almost.
Style.
I know.
Yeah.
Guys, just want to wrap things up, but very quickly, Angelo, just to end things off, what did you make, of the Harris interview? And I know you were someone who, on our chat WhatsApp group, mentions quite often about, you're fed up with XGs and all that malarkey. What did you make of his interview and what he said?
A lot of managers say, you don't look at the league table for the first 10 to 15 games, So we've played 10 games now, we've won 2. It's not good enough. No. So, we're on top of the table for this and top of the table for that. But the bottom line, mate, is you don't stay up. You don't stay up because you've got a good XG. You stay up because you've got enough points. And, 2 wins out of 10 is not good enough. So I was frustrated yesterday in our group chat. And Harris was, in his interviews, I've seen 2 interviews, one with the club and one with the Sky Sports highlights. They do a 20-minute highlight show on our game. And he's frustrated at the end of that one. And he's got to that stage of fed up, we're top of this, top of that. We've got to start getting some points. So with all the injuries coming back, I'm more...
optimistic, or
no? I'm more willing to give the squad a chance, because we're playing the same players week in, week out. Yes, they're reliable. Yes, they're senior pros. But the bottom line is they've got us 2 wins out of 10 games. So we do need to give these youngsters an extra 10, 20, 15 minutes, whatever. Let's do it, mate. Let's mix it up. Let's try some different stuff. And but I'm still confident we'll be all right. But it's very frustrating. Mate. Only 2 wins out of 10 games. It's not good enough, mate.
Positive thinking, Angelo. Positive thinking. I'm sure we'll turn it around. Guys, we're going to end it off. Any final thoughts, Steve? I know you want to have a little mention. You said, didn't you, earlier?
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Look, great to catch up, guys. And look, it's not all doom and gloom. I think we're all very disappointed with the draw, but look, hopefully we can bounce back Wednesday night. Look, it puts things into perspective as well when I'm not going to go into too much details, but a really good mate of mine, massive Millwall fan, Chris Whitehouse, is away on holiday. He's been a little bit unwell at the moment. So just wanted to send out best wishes to Chris and a speedy recovery. And I know he already is on the road to recovery and hopefully going to be back amongst us soon. And hopefully the stress of Millwall won't make him even more unwell. But no, look, best wishes to him. And look, for everybody, let's keep positive and hopefully we'll win on Wednesday.
Absolutely, and we all wish Chris well on behalf of Chat with Chaps, and hope you're feeling better. Cheers for that, Disco Steve and Angelo. Any final words for you before we wrap up?
No, not really, mate. I'm just excited about the players that are coming back, especially Coburn, mate. Coburn's going to be massive if we can keep him nice and fit. I'd love to see Coburn and Ivanovic up front together. I'd love that. It reminds me of the old Teddy Sheringham Cascarino,
Absolutely, especially with our direct sort of football as well. You can imagine how effective that would
What
be.
a pain
Wouldn't
in
it?
the arse them two would be for defenders, eh?
Oh,
And it
God.
would create chances for your number 10. Do you know what I mean? As well, I'd love that.
It'll be absolute nightmare, wouldn't it, for them? Guys, I should have mentioned earlier. Sorry, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. If you listen to this and you like it, please give us a like, give us a little comment. You know, all these things you do by commenting and liking the show just helps with the algorithms. It just helps everything with our YouTube channel and gets things sort of moving. And again, as you all know, everything we make here, any profits we make for this channel goes to Cancer Research UK. So by you liking the show, subscribing to the show and commenting as well, just really helps everything and allows us to get more views and make more money for a very, very good charity. So boys, thank you very, very much. We must end the show now because we're creeping to the hour mark. And we said to ourselves before, we're going to do half an hour today, but we've gone beyond that by another 25 minutes. I don't know if we're back on Tuesday night for a live show at 8 p.m. Maybe we'll have a little bit of rain check. I mean, if you're both up for it, we'll probably confirm that. It will be on Tuesday at 8 p.m. We'll see how it goes, but we'll probably confirm on the social media. So, guys, if you listen to this now, just check socials on Twitter and YouTube, and you'll know if we're going to do it on Tuesday at 8 p.m. We'll probably try to, because obviously we've got the game on Wednesday at home to Plymouth, which is an important game. A game we've got to win. So, boys, without further ado, I just want to say thank you very, very much again to you guys, and appreciate everything you do, and thank you to our listeners. We really do appreciate the likes and the comments that you give us to our show, and it does help our channel grow. So, all the best. Chris Chapman is back to do a proper review after Wednesday's show, so don't worry. You will get him back for Wednesday. He is going to be back, I promise. And thank you very, very much. And we will see you on the next show. Thank you very much, guys. See you later.
See you later on.
All the best. Cheers. Well done, Joe.